Hello all, welcome to our channel Blossom Chemistry. Learn chemistry with peaceful and focused mind. So today we are going to focus on the first chapter, that is the solid state. So let's discuss each and every concept in the solid state. So I will try to explain them in an easy way. So first we are going to discuss regarding the matter. Now, we know that matter exists in the three physical states: solid, liquid, and the gas. Now, if you want to see how the constituent particles are arranged in the solid, liquid, and the gas, the same you can see here. So, when I say constituent particles, so constituent particles can be either atoms, molecules, or ions. So in solids, you can clearly see these are closely packed. One more observation we have. So as they are closely packed, their positions are fixed. So I can say that fixed positions. So because of the fixed positions, they can only vibrate about their mean positions. They cannot move freely. Whereas in the liquid, you can easily observe here that clearly there are some intermolecular spaces. This is the case for the liquid. Whereas in the gases, they are far apart and they can move freely. Move freely. This is the case for the gases. So this is based on the nature of the constituent particles, like how they are arranged. Now we are going to focus on two more important properties in the solids, because we are going to focus more on the solid physical state. So let's continue. So first point, we will be discussing how the intermolecular force of attraction are going to vary. Now, in case of solid, as the constituent particles, so that is atoms or molecules or ions, are very close to each other. So we can say that in the solid, the intermolecular force of attraction is strong. So we are talking about this force, the attractive force. So this is strong in solid or greater as compared with the liquids and the gases. So if this point is clear, next point we are going to discuss regarding the thermal energy. So how the thermal energy is going to vary in case of solid, liquid, and the gases. So let's check that also. So first try to understand what is meant by the thermal energy. So thermal energy can be defined as the sum of kinetic energies within a given system. Or I can clearly say here that thermal energy is related with the kinetic energy. Thermal energy is related with kinetic energy. Now, in gases, we are sure that these constituent atoms, molecules, or ions are free to move. They have the large kinetic energy. So, gases have the predominance of the thermal energy as compared with the solids and the liquids. So, dear friends, two things should be very clear now. What are the two things? That in solids, intermolecular forces are strong. This is the first point. You should be very clear. And what is the second point? The solids have a less thermal energy as compared with the liquids and the gases. Now, if this point is clear regarding the solid, so let's try to see how we can classify the solid. So solids can be classified in the two ways. What are the two ways? So there are two ways in order to classify the solids. The first one is the crystalline solids and the second one is the amorphous solid. Now in the crystalline solids, how we can define them? So in crystalline solid, the constituent particles, that is atoms, molecules or ions, these are having a well-defined ordered arrangement. We will say that they are ordered properly, regularly, and which is a long range. So 2 points you need to remember. First one, well, I will show you also how that order looks. Well ordered arrangement. This is the first point. And what is the second point? That well-ordered arrangement is the long range. These are the 2 points. Whereas in case of amorphous, you are not going to observe the well-ordered arrangement for a long range. So there is a possibility that at some portions, the constituent particles are orderly arrangement. So you can clearly see here, I have mentioned the same point. So orderly arrangement will be of very short range. And same we will see in the next slide. So here you can clearly see, this is the example of the crystalline solid. So orderly arrangement throughout. Orderly arrangement. But that is a long range. But whereas here, you can clearly see that there is only short range orderly arrangement. Short range. Like at some places only the orderly arrangement is there in the case of amorphous. What are the examples? Amorphous example, you can take plastic, glass, rubber, amorphous silica or coal. Then here we have quartz, diamond, graphite, NaCl. So these are having the orderly arrangement, which is a long range. Now, if this point is clear, let's try to get into more details, like how these crystalline and amorphous are different from each other, or what are the characteristics. So let's have the comparison. So the first comparison we will have on the basis of orderly arrangement. So as I mentioned you, long range ordered, here only short range. Then if they are arranged properly, so it is obvious that they are going to have some kind of geometrical shape. But that geometrical shape only in case of crystalline. So they have a definite geometrical shape. Here, no definite geometrical shape. Now, how this orderly arrangement going to vary melting and the fusion, heat of fusion. So obviously, if orderly arrangement is there, then we can say that the interaction is proper. So because of that interaction, we will have a definite melting point. Here, no definite melting point. Similarly, the heat of fusion is also definite. Here, not definite. The heat of fusion is not definite. Now, you might be having a doubt between melting and heat of fusion. So I will try to clarify the same also. So let's consider first difference. Then again, we will come back to this slide. So what is meant by the melting point? So melting point, it is the temperature at which solid starts to melt. Or I can clearly say here that at melting point, both solid and liquid state exist. Well, that is the point at which liquid starts melting. But whereas what is meant by the heat of fusion or latent heat of fusion, it is nothing but the heat absorbed during a phase change from solid to liquid without any change in temperature. So the solids which are having the definite orderly arrangement for long range will obviously have a definite melting and heat of fusion. So this point should be very clear, students. Now, if this point is clear, again we will come back to the previous slide and we will cover few more points. So I hope now melting and the heat of fusion point is clear. Then the mode of cleavage. So obviously, if we cut the crystalline solids, they are going to give the regular cleavage, right? But in case of amorphous, we will get the irregular cleavage. Nature. So crystalline solids, they are called as the true solids, whereas the amorphous are called as the pseudo solids because of short range regular arrangement, or we can say that because of their irregularity. Then the last one is very important, isotropy. So how they are going to show physical properties in the different directions. So when I say isotropy or anisotropy, we are going to discuss the physical properties variation in different directions. Crystalline solids are anisotropic, means the physical properties are going to vary in different directions. Amorphous, isotropic, means physical properties are same in different directions. So let's try to get into more details so that your point will be clear. Okay, so first we will discuss regarding the crystalline solid. So this is a crystalline solids example. Crystalline solid. Now try to focus here. So we can see here there is a regular arrangement which is a long range. Now what we are going to do? Let's say I want to measure some physical properties such as melting point you can take, or electrical conductance, refractive index. These are physical properties. I want to measure along the AB direction and I want to measure along the CD direction. So what I have mentioned, let's consider properties along AB first, and second we will consider along CD. Now here what is going to happen? You can clearly see the arrangement is going to be different, right? So this is the AB arrangement. But in case of CD arrangement, we can see that different constant particles are coming, right? Because the arrangement is different. So if we measured the properties along AB or CD, so those will be different. And why is it so? Because different arrangement of particles, this point is important, different arrangement of particles in different directions. So you can clearly see the AB arrangement is different than the CD. That is the reason they are called as the anisotropic. Now, if this point is clear, let's see why the amorphous are called as the isotropic. So try to get into more details. So first thing, isotropic means we are saying that the properties in different directions are same. Now try to focus, students. So why is it like that we are saying properties are same? Because irregularity in different direction is same. Or in other words, this point is very important. I can say that these solids are disordered or disarranged equally in different directions, or degree of disorder is same in any direction. So if you are going to measure any property, physical property, so it is going to show the same value. That's the reason we can say that these are isotropic in nature. Or in other words, also we can say that this disarrangement is not different than one another. So if you consider the different directions, so it's going to be same. That is the point. That's the reason we call them isotropic. Isotropic in nature. Whereas the crystalline, those are anisotropic in the nature. I hope you clearly understood this. Important point that you need to remember is that here again I will highlight this point. Irregular arrangement of particles along different directions. This is the first point I have mentioned. And that irregularity is same in all directions. So don't get confused. Here also I will write down the second point. The irregularity or disordered arrangement is equal in all directions. So obviously, if they are disarranged equally in all directions, so if you are going to measure the properties, so those are going to show the nearly same value. So that's the reason they are called as the isotropic. If this point is clear, then we will have a quick recap. So I think you should be very clear regarding these points now. What are these points? Orderly arrangement, geometrical shape, melting point, latent heat of fusion, the mode of cleavage, nature, and the last one was isotropy and the anisotropy. So in the next class, I'm going to tell you more regarding the classification of the crystalline and the amorphous solid on the basis of force of attraction. So thank you very much.